Memphis. This is Best in Blue. This show is just like it sounds. We're talking to the best and brightest in the Memphis Police Department. In each episode, we do a deep dive into the various jobs within the department, and more importantly, we do a deep dive into the lives of the very human men and women behind the badge. And now, here's your host, Candace Gray.
Welcome back to Best in Blue. I am so excited today for this conversation we're about to have with three MPD veterans. We've got Colonel Dereck Stewart, Colonel Webb Kirkdoffer, and Lieutenant Monique Williams. And they're going to talk to us all about the Memphis Police University of Tennessee Leadership Academy. Oh my goodness, this is going to be a really exciting conversation today, and we can't wait to get into it as soon as we come right back. You're listening to Best in Blue, brought to you by the Memphis Police Department and empowered by Kadzukian. We'll be right back.
Kadzukian. The company is based in Memphis, but it is international.
A new building, an expanded team, new equipment, a new studio, all inside of 7 years.
The resources that we were able to utilize with Kadzukian and their team has been incredible. And our partners at Kadzukian has been a large part of our success.
One, it's Black owned. So we get to tell our own stories in our own way.
With social media and the technology we have today, the world is listening.
Kadzukian. Check out all your Kadzukian favorites now. Download the Kadzukian app, available on Android and iOS.
Kadzukian! Welcome back. And I have got some very esteemed guests here today. We've got Colonel Dereck Stewart, who is actually a retiree. He's been on the force for 33 years. Welcome, Colonel Stewart.
Hello.
And we've also got Colonel Webb Kirkdoffer, who has been on the force for a whopping 38 years. Is that right?
28.
Oh, okay. Whoo. I was going to say, you must have started when you were 14. Welcome. And then we have Lieutenant Monique Williams, who's here today. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
And she's got another 23 years on the force. So all in all, we've got about 100 years of police department energy on today. And we're so excited to have you guys. We are going to talk about the Memphis Police University of Tennessee Leadership Academy. And I understand that there are a couple of different campuses. Colonel Stewart, do you want to kind of tell us what it is and where it is? And let's start there.
This is a joint initiative that's between the University of Tennessee Law Enforcement Innovation Center that's located in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and the Memphis Police Department, because of a conversation that was had between the leaders of LEIC, Rich Scarborough, and Chief Davis. Chief Davis and Rick Scarborough had a conversation about leadership, and just were asking about what the University of Tennessee could provide. And I think everything kind of morphed from there.
When would you say this got started? It must have been a new initiative between the two entities. Was it the last couple of years? I know this was the first inaugural class that just went through. But when did the idea come about?
I think the idea came about probably about a year or so ago.
Can you just give us a little overview about what it is, how long the program is, what's exciting about it?
This program that we have, it's a 5-week leadership program.
Okay.
And which we teach various aspects of leadership, a deep look at themselves and try to figure out what their strengths and maybe what some of their weaknesses are. What are some of those behaviors that they may have that they may not even know that they have, and how that comes across to their team and the people that they lead. This program is been around for probably I would say it's been around for over 15 years, typically done in Chattanooga, Tennessee each year. It is entitled the Southeastern Leadership Academy. But we did a special program just for Memphis. And I tell you what, it's a fantastic experience. All the participants, we're glad to be there. We're willing to be there. I've often said that they came in eager to learn and
as I'm sure all great leadership programs do, because people are ready to, apply what they've learned and make the world a better place as a result of it. Speaking of participants, I know we've got a couple of participants on the line. Does anyone want to share their experience?
This was a great experience for myself, but not only myself, but for the other leaders that were in there with me from the police department. As Colonel Stewart said, when we first got in there, they made us take a deep dive and look inside ourselves to kind of look at our strengths, weaknesses, really trying to hone in on our weaknesses. That's going to make us better in the long run. It's something when you're having to write about yourself in a journal or diary. That's something I never did before.
I was going to ask. You don't strike me as a diary writer.
So I was not until I went through this leadership class.
Wonderful.
But now I do it nightly, every night.
Wonderful.
And it helps me. I can look back and see when I write down the things I did that day and the things that I accomplished or didn't accomplish, or the issues I had either at work or outside of work. And it's really helped me a lot because it's a stress reliever for me, because sometimes I have the issue of blurting my feelings out without a filter.
Sure.
So this has really helped me. This leadership class really helped me and gave me skills and ability to kind of counteract that. And I can't say enough about it. This is. And it started with Colonel Stewart. He was our facilitator for the whole 5 weeks.
Oh, wow.
He
Okay.
came in, and all you had to do was look at him, and you could see leadership. So he led by the example. It's easy to become a better leader when somebody's up there in front of you. It's on display every time you have an interaction with them.
That's right. Walking the walk and talking the talk, right?
That's right. I can't sing his praises enough. Lieutenant Williams was in the class with us. She and I have worked together, and we knew each other. However, through some of the skills and abilities and some of the training that they gave us, I found out that I didn't know her as I should know her, professionally and personally.
Yeah.
If we've got to be in touch with ourselves, but in order to help and lead others, we need to know about them, not only while we're working with them, but also off duty. That way we can help them either which way we need to in any environment.
I think that's such a good point, Colonel Kirkdoffer. I think trust is something that we've talked about for the entire series, and not only trust among the community and the department, but trust among officers and leaders. And I think that's a really good point. Before we take a quick break, Lieutenant Williams, I want to hear a little bit about your experience.
For me, I was elated about the academy being in person. Over the last couple of years, a lot of training for me was taking place on webinars and by Zoom and on Teams.
Sure.
I was elated to see, 24 other leaders in a room together, brainstorming every day. Just working and sharpening the tools that we needed for the skill set. And for me, it was just a self-awareness on where I needed to improve and how did I need to improve. And I think the one thing was team building for me and resilience, just being available to other people on the department, not just going through the daily struggles, but actually being in tune with the human aspect of our organization. And again, I had strayed away from doing journals and was excited about doing that because, wow, it took me back to, years of being able to write things down.
That's right.
And then being able to look back and see where you were and where, where you were before and where you are now.
And that growth that comes that you don't realize, which is amazing. Well, thank you guys for sharing your experience.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a quick break, but before we go, I want to leave you with a question that we'll come back and answer. As you guys were talking about the journaling and, really assessing your feelings and biases and things like that, there's a lot of self-discovery happening during this process. And I'd like to know if you uncovered something about yourself that surprised you. So think about that and we'll talk about it as soon as we come back. You are listening to Best in Blue, brought to you by the Memphis Police Department and empowered by the Kazukian Network. We'll be right back.
Riffin' on Jazz.
Can't you see Miss Dawson? I mean, with that name, Mary Cardwell Dawson. You can see that. I can see that.
Riffin' on Jazz on the Kazukian Network. Kazukian!
And we're back. Welcome back to Best in Blue. We left all of our guests with a cliffhanger question, and that question was, did you learn something about yourself during this process that surprised you? And if any brave soul would like to share what that was, go for it.
What I learned of many things in this is I had to learn how to trust people. I had to learn to open up my guard and let it down.
Wow.
Talk to somebody like Colonel Stewart or Lieutenant Williams or other lieutenants and majors that were in the class with me. By doing that, I realized that it helps me personally and professionally, but it also relieves stress from me. But I would tend to kind of take everything on myself until somebody could show me they could do it. I'm not really a standoff kind of guy, but I don't go out and just shake hands with everybody I come across.
Sure.
However, with these men and women that I work with daily, especially after 28 years, like I said, I knew Lieutenant Williams, but did I really know her? I found out I didn't. We since have a better relationship, but everybody in that class I had touched or come across in my career. And so in order to be a leader, you have to have trust. You said it a while ago. Me opening up myself and letting them into my circle was a part of me learning how to trust somebody else. So that was a big thing that I took from this this academy.
That's amazing. Thank you, Colonel Kirkdoffer. Lieutenant Williams?
Yeah, so one thing I just want to reflect on is one of the exercises that we completed during the 5-week program was to be able to identify with a character. And mine was Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman,
and
all right.
For so long, I had Wonder Woman, and you had to actually use your drawing skills.
Wow.
To accomplish.
I would have failed that one.
That assignment. But for me, it was an eye-opener that I didn't always have to be the one to wear the cape. To trust in my team, and to tap into their skills and their talents and help them to involve just didn't mean for me to just take on everything.
Sure.
That I had outstanding team members. I had outstanding people around me that I could trust and I could definitely go to and get the job done. And that was hard for me.
Yeah.
Through 23 years of law enforcement, you tend to want to be able to be the one to have all the answers and do the job and have people think that you're capable. But passing the torch and being there for people that work for you and helping them along the way it helped me. This academy helped me to do that.
That's wonderful. Colonel Stewart, as you listen to your students who have completed this program, how do you feel? And tell me, is this the result that you're looking for? You know, what are you really setting out to do through this leadership program?
I tell you, honestly, listening to these leaders is very humbling to hear them to really open up and really to watch them grow over such a short period of time.
Yeah.
These leaders were fantastic. They came in, they made themselves vulnerable, but I think in the end, we all developed into something a little bit stronger and a little bit better. That's going to better serve the city of Memphis.
Absolutely.
So these leaders are fantastic, and I'm really, really proud of them.
Wonderful. If people are interested in participating, is there an application process, or does someone have to recommend you for the program? Like how does that all come together? Is there an application process or?
Yes. During this process, the application process, I think they had to send an application and maybe write an essay to the Memphis City Chiefs.
We had to apply, and we had to write, and then we had to get a referral from one of our bosses, had to write, and then they were sent up to our command staff.
Okay. And
the command staff chose the 25 people who would attend.
Wonderful.
So, I don't know how many applied, but it was a whole lot more than 25.
Sure.
So, and I'm blessed that I was one of the 25 chosen.
Wonderful. And it sounds like it's one of those experiences that not only, as you mentioned, I believe, Colonel Kirkdoffer, it not only helps professionally, but even personally. You know, there's some advantages to taking part in such a wonderful program. Can you talk a little bit about some of the skills? Of course, you know, we're building leaders and we're building camaraderie, but how do you think the program directly affects the people you serve every day? Can you talk a little bit about that?
There's always in our job the aspect of solving problems. Mm-hmm. And the biggest thing is serving our community and solving problems in the community.
Sure.
And ensuring our citizens that, you know, you can trust your department. And time again, we heard that the department is only as strong as your weakest supervisor. And so it's a big deal for supervisors to receive this type of training. It was new for us.
Yeah.
And as Colonel Kirkdoffer said, you know, there were so many that applied, but this is something it's a landmark with the department. To not only, we keep saying skill sets, but to be visionaries with this department and build more bonds in our community.
Absolutely.
And how do we do that? Supervisors have to stand as leaders and lead that role. And this is what the Academy helped with, the foundation of leadership, making us becoming visionaries and building better bonds, not only within the department, but outside the department, definitely.
In the community. Where do you see, so now that you both have acquired these skills, where do you see yourself going as a result of having been through this program? What are the next steps?
Well, I think I've already taken my next step.
Okay.
By getting appointed to the rank of colonel, because I was a major when it went through.
Awesome.
I went through
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So there's no doubt that this 5 weeks of training played a big role in that.
Wonderful.
And as Lieutenant Williams said, we can't do this alone. So part of this training, you had to learn how to interact with citizens. You know, so they taught you skill sets with that. We need their help to fight crime, especially in this city. This is a great city with great people in it.
Absolutely.
And without their help, you know, we would be struggling. So this absolutely, if I hadn't gone through this, I don't think I would be sitting in this colonel's chair right now.
Wonderful. Lieutenant Williams, anything to add to that?
Well, I tested for the next rank of major, so I'm on that list, hopefully in the near future.
Awesome.
To go to the next rank. I have 23 years on, but I plan on being with the department much longer
Wonderful.
than what I initially set out to be. I've enrolled back in school and expect to receive my master's degree in human resources leadership.
Wow.
So I'm trying to just continue with education and training.
That's it.
Again, because, we can't stay on this job forever.
That's right. Yeah. I think it's important to note too that when you do join the department, there's so many things for you to do. You can move around, you can go to school, you can get these trainings that are life-changing. So a career in law enforcement at the Memphis Police Department is a great move. And I'm so glad that you guys took some time to tell me a little bit about your experiences. I have one last question, and then I'll let you go. Tell me the 3 things you love most about being a police officer, Colonel Stewart, when you were, before you retired. What are 3 things that you love about being in the department?
Well, I tell you, for me, it's pretty simple. It's pretty straightforward. I really appreciate it. The opportunity to serve, to serve others. This profession, where you choose to want to serve people and to do it well. I also spend a real significant amount of time as a trainer. So to help mold the future leaders within law enforcement was extremely gratifying for me. And and again, just having the opportunity to really contribute to others' success.
Wonderful. Colonel?
Well, for me, number one, this is my dream job, so I'm living out a dream.
Oh, that's
this
wonderful.
Is what I always wanted to do since I was little.
Wow.
I love the camaraderie I have with these officers. Every day you come, you get to fellowship with them. Like I said, talk. Now I get to lead them, so that's a great thing. And, just serving the people, it is a great thing. So I'm just ecstatic that I'm a police officer, and I love the fact that I'm a Memphis police officer.
Awesome.
So this city has been good to me, and I love this city, and I love the people of this city and the officers who serve and protect it each and every day. Wonderful.
Thank you. Close us out, Lieutenant Williams.
For me, there's so many other things, just 3.
Right.
But of course, the opportunity to build lasting relationships, not only just in the community, but with the people you work with. Truly, this job has compensated me in growth and learning how to solve problems. And it's one thing that my family can always say they're proud of me. Because of the many hours and the time that's spent doing this job. It was a surprise to them, and they can't believe that, 23 years later, I'm still with it.
Wonderful.
And just basically just being in the community that I've lived in and went to school, and seeing a difference. It's a hard job, but it's worth it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. We have had a great time learning about the UT Leadership Academy. And thank you for listening to Best in Blue. As always, we appreciate you tuning in to learn more about our police department and the men and women behind the badge. Be sure to like us and follow us across all of our social media platforms, and listen to the show wherever you stream your podcasts. We're at Best in Blue MPD on Instagram and Best in Blue on Facebook. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
This is Memphis Police Chief CJ Davis encouraging you to join our Best in Blue. Our requirements are achievable, Our standards are the highest and our officers are the finest. Check out opportunities to join our police department at joinmpd.com.